Besotted Ballads, Volume 1, written from 1955 to 1959, ages 13 through 17. In 1959, I was agog with a certain girl, and I wrote this play to try to impress her. It's a musical called Ya-Ha-Whoey. The title actually came from a song that I wrote with, in cooperation with Stuart Meisel several years earlier, and incorporated that poem or that song and some other songs I'd written previously into the score for this play. Music was written by Robert Condon, but we're not going to do the music here. This is the lyrics. And, you know, it's a love-struck young man doing this in his teen years, so you have to bear with that. But I figured I'm going to record all my works eventually. So, this was dedicated to Jeanette, that girl I met in Wildwood. She was not the actual girl that I wrote this for. That was somebody else. The title, Besotted Ballads, Volume 1, there is a Volume 2 written much later in life. And also, that one was completely in collaboration with Stuart Meisel. And I don't know, I just picked this title originally to just collect the lyrics from that into one volume. And Besotted is characterized by or indicated of stupidity, stupid, infatuated, made sottish by drink, stupefied by habitual intoxication. That's the definition from the Century Dictionary Encyclopedia. Certainly when I was writing this play, the play itself's kind of stupid, and when I wrote it, I was certainly infatuated. The songs appear in the order that they were in the play. The first song is called My Little White Lamb. This song was written in 1955, well before the play. It was one of the first things that I wrote that was actually published. The song was published, and a couple of years later, after it was published, it was recorded by a person named Ben Tate, Mr. Tate, and the song basically disappeared into obscurity. I still have a few of the records here that were left, but I used it as the opening song for the play. And it's the main characters play bemoaning the fact that his girlfriend has sort of betrayed him with another. My little white lamb. She came into my life like a little white lamb, but she went out like a big roaring lion. Why did she double-cross me at the crossroads of life? Why, oh why did she leave me? I will just walk along the streets, alone and weary, all alone in this world without her, or ending it down by the river, because I feel so low down and blue. Was I ever so downright untrue or unfaithful to her in our attempt at true love? To make her sad, my little white lamb, or has love just flown like a dove? When they lay me in that big cold coffin, and when that black hearse starts on its slow way, then will you remember how I loved you right until the end, my dying day? You came into my life like a little white lamb, but you went out like a big roaring lion. There on the doorstep you left me, all alone and crying. 55, about 14 when I wrote it. So basically written as a country and western song. In the play there's a rock and roll singer that all the kids go for. The name is Gabby Goober. And there's a couple of songs in there supposed to be his big hits. This is one of them. Yum ye yum yum. I'm sorry, yum ye ye yum. Yum ye ye yum. Yum ye ye yum. I love you. You ooh ooh you. I never thought that I would fall, but here I am. I love you all. Yum ye ye yum. Yum ye ye yum. I love you. You ooh ooh you. You're my ever-loving baby. You're my bread, butter, and gravy. Yum yee yum yee yum. I love you, you, ooh, ooh, you. Just like the moon lights up the night, just like the stars shine down so bright. Yum yee yum. I love you, you, ooh, ooh, you. Let's stay together forevermore. Let's get mated by 4:30. For I make this love to be ours, for every day and every hour. For I love ya each single day, till the time June comes for May. It's supposed to be a parody, you know. Lonely Boy, again, sung by one of the main characters over his loss. This song was used. I used this in my stand-up act, and there I sang it, and invariably I got the screams and all from the girls in the audience, but I'm sure they weren't serious. Lonely Boy. He lost his baby. He's weary and tired. She was the only girl he ever admired. Lonely boy is in a whirl, going around, mourning for a girl. He runs everything. He runs everywhere. No peace to be found. Lonely boy is going around. No other one can understand the workings of his new plan to write a sweet and save the world from war, from death, and love in peril. Sometimes in this world a fool must dream, and other times a crook must scheme. But there is little hope to find happiness and help the lonely boy in his loneliness. So the music plays soft and sad, but tears won't wash away what is bad. The snows fall down and it gets cold. Poor lonely boy and his story so old. I mean, these guys run away home and they camp on the beach by the shore a week before Christmas. Okay. I mean, the play is very realistic. Okay, Ya-Ha-Whoey. This was written by myself and Stuart Meisel in 1956. He had a old-time dictaphone, did it on wax cylinders, and we used to sit around at his house and make up songs and silly stuff, and this was one that came out of that. Grandpa was driving down the mountain on an icy day. When his car hit the curb, it began to sway. Off of the road it found its way, and as he went over, you could hear him say, Ya-Ha-Whoey, 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 and they lay him away that day. As up the first hill the scenic started to creep, a lady stood up to see how steep. When she saw, she began to leap, and as she fell out, you could hear her speak, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey. Excuse me. And they lay her away that week. A man went up into a tower that's tall. He took a wrong turn and started to fall. Though he had a voice what's small, as he went you could hear his call, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey. And they laid him away in a hole. A man went up to tie a noose. He did not know the ladder was loose, and as he fell from his roost, you heard him call like a stricken moose, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey. And 6 men gave him a boost. A man went up to a scaffold real high, away to roofs simplify. Got too near the edge, sweet old guy, and as he slipped, you could hear his cry, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha-Whoey. And they laid him away to lie. If you're wondering about that title and verse, At the time, there was a show on television called uh, Walt Disney's. It was either Walt Disney Present or it was still Disneyland, and they would show these goofy cartoons on that show occasionally. And in several of the Goofy cartoons, Goofy would somehow fall. He'd go down a ski lift and off the ski lift or some other thing. And every time he fell, you'd hear him cry, Ya-Ha-Whoey! That's the title. As I said, these kids ran away from home. Excuse me. Camped on the sands of the shore week before Christmas. So we had to have a couple Christmas-like songs come in there. This is his Christmas next week. It's snowing in the country, coming down in white flakes, piling up by the kitchen door while Christmas cookies bake. We don't care if the drifts get real deep. Christmas is coming next week. It's fine for sledding and throwing snowballs. The kids are having fun just watching the snow fall. White snowmen with silk hats upon their head, with songs of Santa and his suit of bright red. Toys are thought of, lists are being made. Children are extra good, much more behaved. Manners better, and spirits hard to beat, for they know it's Christmas only next week. It's snowing in the country, coming down in white flakes, piling on the highway, and there's ice upon the lakes. We don't know when it'll end. Gee, it's deep. Christmas is coming next week. The adults are shopping, worries are leaving, the rich are giving, the poor are receiving, while carolers are singing songs of our Savior, or peace on earth and love of neighbor. The mothers are baking, the fathers are joking, the children are playing, the chimney is smoking. Trains are set up, trees are trimmed bright, and towns are lit up with rows of Christmas light. Walks are shoveled and cards are sent out, children telling Santa what they want while on his lap. The children are restless, at night they can't sleep, for they know it's Christmas only next week. It's snowing in the country, coming down in white flakes. We will get out our sleds and put on our old ice skates. Then we will slide and ride home to sleep, and Christmas is coming next week. Christmas is a-comin'. Just detect the theme here. Oh, Christmas is a-comin' amid joy and good cheer. Christmas is a time when families meet with traditional tales and lots of food to eat. Ach, jawohl, wir haben nicht ein Zeit. When family treffen mit ersblang traditional ohne viel Bissen zum Essen. Like Christmas has cool amid crowds so sweet. Oh, Christmas Eve night, Santa flies through the air to the top of the roof with many gifts to bear. For Christmas is a-coming and sadness is rare. I don't speak German very well. This is another Gwen Gabby Goober song. Wella, wella, wella. Wella, 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 honey. Wella, 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 babe. I'm gonna tell you truly, you're my little sugar king. 'Cause I like the way you look. I like what I see. I truly hope, my baby, you will play with me. Yeah. The Great Big World. This is when they're running away. There's a great big world waiting for us. Waiting for us is a great big world out there. There are long roads covered with dust that we got to kick in the air. Lots of ways to wander, wander alone. Will Sally be there when I get home? Sally was the name of his girlfriend. Sally Smith. Important to know the Smith. Come up later. Rain-bitten earth. I'm just a rebel, a rolling pebble, who's rolling along the rain-bitten earth. My clothes are dirty and I'm far from pretty as I roll along the rain-bitten earth. The rain-bitten earth and the cloudy gray sky, looking for the sun till the day I die. There ain't any fun and there ain't any mirth anywhere I've looked on the rain-bitten earth. What would I come if I wasn't a bum traveling along the rain-bitten earth. Got nothing to my name but a sack on a cane, and my voice in song on the rain-bitten earth. How romantic can it be? They say I am too young. When you are young, can true love come? Or must you wait? And if you wait, will it be too late? My friend says forget. I try to, but yet I seem to remember the day she stepped out. I ask why is that, with so much beauty about? I seem to get the impression that my heart's in a depression. I sit and ask many a question. When I think of the fun we had, I get sorrowful and mad and sad when it's beautiful to see. How romantic can it be when she's far away from me, and the moon is bright and the night is beautiful to see? How romantic can it be? When all is quiet and still, with fog o'er the meadows till cows are asleep, sound and deep in the midnight dew. How romantic can it be? The silver of the lake reminds me of her hair, liquid and shimmering and wavy in the air. A bird in the meadow reminds me of her voice, clear and perfect and beautiful and choice. When ice covers the stream, winter clouds shroud my dream, nothing e'er goes right, but the night is beautiful to see. How romantic can it be? How romantic can it be? Every little breeze blowing through the trees brings back a memory. Whether the moon or the sun at noon, it means misery. When it's beautiful to see. How sad is sweet parting. My heart is still carding love's ache and pain, and my brain is asking thee, how romantic can it be? Running away. My baby done up and left me. I'm running away. Ran right out the back door, you see. I'm running away. Maybe it was a big dance number. I don't know. I do love him. All right, now here's the girls singing. Does he believe me like he says, or does he doubt I am truthful? But I am truthful and I am true when I said I do love him. He isn't famous, he's not well known. He is stubborn, but he can be shown I do love him. I never thought I'd realize that I'd find a true love who's not any older than I. I said he must be much older than me if his love is more than a lie. Yet I have now found that I really love him. His age is no more than mine. At first I didn't know that he really would go when he said he would that time. You can never trust the feelings when you first go with them, for true love comes a sneaking, no matter how you thought it'd been. One time a girl saw a boy, and once he saw her, and in that one time they both discovered true love was here. I do love him. Yet at first it did not bloom, for he knew his heart, but she did not her own. She left him alone, not letting it start. I do love him. That girl was I. I've come back. It's going to be swell, for I can see this was meant to be. All's well that ends well. I do love him. But just as you said before, love comes more than one way. Mine came differently than yours. It all came about in one day. This is a different girl now. One day a girl saw a boy, and once he saw her, right away they knew it was to be love, and she told him, "Sir, I do love you." They have embraced and they have kissed. Love is now complete. Through all time to grow, forever they know they were meant to meet. I do love him. We have found the love for us. It's both girls singing now. We have found the love for us. It won't leave us now. We'll have days of fun. If some problems come, solve them one by one. When all of our days are done, we'll still be together somehow. Forget the bad that could have been. We do love them. Two girls were cousins that lived. One lived at the shore, one lived in the town where the boys ran away. Coincidence, you know. Sally. Sally was the girl that the main character ran away from town for because he loved her. After all, you are beautiful and you're smart. I love you, it's true. I know my own heart. Dear Sally, you are beautiful. more beautiful than anything. That is why my heart still cries when you're far away. But someday a star may fall down from the skies to guide us to our new love. I keep asking why I love you, why I care. She left me little, yet I have love to spare. But then she made my life full, a little more full of everything. It was mine once upon a time. This I shall always keep, oh, so deep within my heart. A heart which I lost. Re-win her I will, no matter what the cost. I keep asking why I left her, why I left. She didn't love me, my skin's thin, I guess. Sally, you are delightful, more delightful than anything. That is why I'd live or die to have you stay on someday. Because I love you, far beyond words. I was foolish with it. You're very truly George. George was the name of the main character. Frank was the other, his friend. Don't fall in love. These are the two girls, the two cousins. Sally, the other one's name is Jean. Don't fall in love. It'll only make you sad. It'll only make you mad. Then you made him so glad, though he won't quite convince you. Remember, though he's the first and only one, though he says you're the most and the lonely one, don't fall in love. Don't fall in love. You will always remember this time in December when love came. But what about January, when the year is new? Will love be through? Don't fall in love. Jean, I wish I'd never fallen in love. I was naive. I don't know true love, and I didn't know false love. Don't fall in love, no matter what you dream. It'll make you worry. It'll make you sorry. It's not what it may seem. It's not a game, so don't fall in love. Your young heart's to blame, but his is not the same love that you're dreaming of. Don't fall in love till the common link is found, and love is older, and love is bolder, when you know it's sound. When all is rosy and pink, and you don't just sit and grieve, nor can you forget him, nor do you regret him, then you'll know what to believe. Otherwise, don't fall in love, for a girl's love comes slower. A boy, he learns faster, and his love can pass her. Don't let love be your master. Don't fall in love. I like to feel this way. This is Frank, I think. But who am I to ask why some mighty force in nature's course makes me feel this way? If it's love, it's clear as mud, and I don't understand. But who cares? It's grand. I like to feel this way. I'll just wait for tomorrow, wait for happiness or sorrow, before I cry or laugh, at whichever crosses my path. But I still like to feel this way. If it's love, it's bright above, and I'll take my stand to lead the brass band, 'cause I like to feel this way. Alright, here's George warning Frank that he shouldn't fall in love with Jean because Jean's last name is Smith, and that's the same last name as his girlfriend Sally, who he felt betrayed him. So he's warning Frank away from anybody named Smith. Never trust a Smith. You know the name is made up. If you trust a Smith, you're going to end up laid up. Never trust a Smith. They scheme and they plan. You can't trust a Smith. They're a much too shifty clan. For what do you know of love? Take it from me, an expert. Never trust a Smith. They'll only do you dirt. Never trust a Smith. They just can't be trusted. If you trust a Smith, your heart will be busted. Never trust a Smith. You never know what they'll do. But you can see the worst will come to you. So never trust a Smith, no matter what you do. They just can't be trusted. They're a much too shifty crew. Never trust a Smith. The name just isn't real. And you can be sure you'll get a raw deal. Take it from me, an expert. I trusted a Smith. Now what do I have to show for it? Not even a tiny if. Never trust a Smith. You know the name is made up. Never trust a Smith. Your love won't be paid up. For they are worse than bombs. They suck you in, and they way bye-bye. It's just a sin. Never trust a Smith. They'll only make you blue. They'll find another and forget all about you. So never trust a Smith, whatever you may do. They just can't be trusted. They're a much too shifty crew. She'll leave you after all, when all your dough is gone. Leave you alone and crying, alone without no one. So never trust a smith, it'll be better to slit your wrist. Never trust a smith, it's just too great a risk. Never trust a smith, you know the name is made up. Never trust a smith, you'll only end up laid up. So never ever, but or if, trust a smith. I did it. Frank thinks he's the cause of something that happened to George. He's lying in there, how flat on his back, how flat on his back, and it's all my fault because I did it. Under a coma, and his mind is black. Yeah, his mind is black. Doctors need a cure to try and rid it. I'm the one who struck the blow that cut him low. I'm the one who stomped him down into the ground. It's pushing on towards day, right on through evening. And where is old Frank March? He's lying in there bleeding. I got it wrong. George thinks he did something to Frank. Been a long time. If he should die, then I should too, for what I did to you with my open fat mouth. Yes, I did it. I did it. I did it. Build a high steeple that reaches the height, for all the people to see and delight, in remembrance of the man who all scorn, the famous musician George Frederick Hilborn, who did it. Will this be the end of George's best friend? Will Sally be good and safe with this hood? Tomorrow brings cries to Jeannie's hoping eyes. Tune into the tale of the fool for scorn. Put me in a cell where I won't be mourned. I've done it to Frank from the start. From the start it stank. I did it. Now this one is one of these things where everybody comes out and they have their own parts or singing. So some of this stuff would have been sang at the very same time the other stuff was being said. But I'm just going to kind of read it straight through. You're a fool, George Hilborn. Where did the little lad run? What an idiot. What a fool to run off because he couldn't face the competition. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're a fool, can't you see? You're a fool, George Hilborn, when you run away from me. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're as foolish as can be. You're a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause you ran away from she. The breeze is running along. By its side skips George Hilborn. The rain has no thunderstorm to face up to George's wrath. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're a fool, can't you see? You're a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause you ran away from me. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're as foolish as can be. You're a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause you ran away from she. I had always said that this here boy would go quite far. I just hope he don't run back. Little boy lost, where can he be? Oh dear, oh my. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're a fool, can't you see? You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're as foolish as can be. Now I can see him wandering, lost and lonely, way out where there is found only the north wind and desert ground, and the night is full of strange sound, like a haunt stalking his footsteps. You're a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause you ran away from me. All through the night an animal crept and jumped out. Oh man, that's cool. George Hilborn, you are a fool. You're a fool, George Hilborn. You're as foolish as can be. You're a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause you ran away from she. George, you're a fool, all right, but I'm a fool much bigger. If you wonder why I am, it's because what I did was sicker than running away like you. I'm a fool, George Hilborn. I'm a fool just like you. I'm a fool, George Hilborn, 'cause I let you get away from you. 'Cause I let me get away from you. Okay. Almost through it. Finale of Ya-Ha-Whoey. Another one, bunch of people all singing, some at the same time. So, Sally, you are wonderful. George, you're just a fool. Jean, you are beautiful, more beautiful than anything. That is why I do not lie when I do say that this day our star has fell down from above to guide us to our love. I do love you. You mean more to me than the sky or the sun, and I will keep you close where my heart can boast of what love has done. I do love you. I do love you. You mean more to me than the sky or the sun, and I will keep you close where my heart can boast of what love has done. I do love you. I met a little girl and I fell in love. It was like a star from out of heaven above. Paul Anka again. She's the only girl I'm thinking of. So I shout in a voice of the dub, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha, Ya-Ha-Whoey, Ya-Ha, Ya-Ha-Whoey. And so we fell in love, we fell in love. She came into his life like a little white lamb, and she ran right back to him crying. Now she says she does love him. Now she says she does love me, and I know she ain't lying. That's life, that's love, that's George. Ya-Ha-Whoey! Shall I read the end notes? Afterword. Ya-Ha-Whoey was a musical play I wrote for Sonia in the fall of 1959. It was an attempt to impress her, since I was very much in love with her. Not all the poems were originally written for the play. Some were written earlier and incorporated into the play. These were Ya-Ha-Whoey was written in 1956 and co-authored by Stuart Rayfield Godfrey Meisel. This was written at his home in Downingtown on an old cylinder recorder. The title came from a scream that Goofy often yelled in old Walt Disney cartoons. My Little White Lamb was also written in 1956. The song was published in 1957 and later recorded by Ben Tate on Lonnie Records. It Is Christmas Next Week was written in 1957. An original musical score was partially written in 1960 by Richard Condon and Valley Forge. I said Bob, didn't I? I have no copy of his music. He may have it, but I lost contact with him back in the 60s. He and I worked on the score in a room up in the bell tower of the George Washington Memorial Cathedral in Valley Forge National Battlefield. Other poetry books by me that I have already recorded were Early in the Morning and From a Further Room. And that's it for Besotted Ballads.
But then, start all over again.